Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia Leigh and I'm an indie author and freelance editor. Today I'm going to give you some of my top tips for building your author brand. Now this was a video that you guys voted on. Almost 600 people, almost 600 people voted on this video and 41% of you said that you were interested in getting my tips for how to build an author brand. So that is what we are doing today. So if you are interested in building an author brand, in building an author business, in selling your books, and creating a loyal fan base for your stories, then stay tuned because we're about to get started. So the first thing I want to start by saying is that when many people hear brand, they often think of logos or colors or designs, and while that is an aspect of branding, that's not everything that a brand is. A brand is really more of a reputation. It's what people perceive of you based on what you put out there, whether you're putting it out in video form, whether you are emailing potential clients, whether you are selling books. So really it's what you are giving to the people that are interacting with your content online or in some cases in person. Now, a lot of people have asked me, am I able to start a YouTube? Am I able to start an author website? Am I able to start, a Twitter if I don't have any books out? And the answer is 100% yes. When I have given kind of my tips about starting an author tube or kind of starting a platform or selling your books, the number one thing that I will always say is that you need to get started now. It's better to get started early rather than late. You don't want to put out a book and then think, oh, now it's time to start my author platform. If you are sitting here watching this video and you want to sell books and you don't have an author platform or an author brand yet, then I'm telling you, it is time to get started today. And going along with that, please remember that building a brand, building a business, is not going to happen overnight. It's not like you're going to put up an Instagram or put up a website and put some beautiful photos on it and immediately have followers and immediately have people that want to engage with you and buy your content. That's just not going to be the case. So one of the things that we're really going to be looking for here with your author brand is consistency, because with consistency, you're going to be drawing more people into you. They're going to get to know you a bit better, and then they're going to want to stick around. So please do not think that this needs to happen overnight or even within like weeks or months. This really does take time to build up, to get going, and to get consistent posting your content, sharing your content, and getting your words out there. All right, so you are about to start your author brand, and I think it's good to ask yourself a few questions. You could even pull out your notebook while you're watching this video and start brainstorming answers to these questions. The first question is, what is your purpose? Why do you want to start this author brand? And for many of us, that's going to be to sell our books, and that is not a bad thing. I have had, I will truly say this, I have had some crazy people here on AuthorTube telling me that I need to give my books away for free, that stories should just be out in the world for free, and while I love stories and sharing them, writing and selling books is a business. So if your goal is to sell your books and, make a passive income that way or make a full-time income that way, it's okay for that to be your goal. It's not a bad thing to want to make money off of your stories. It's not a bad thing to want to build an author brand and build an author business. So that's kind of something that I just wanted to start with. The question one, what is your purpose in wanting to start your author brand? Question two is, how are you going to impact others? And this could be, do you want to share photos? Do you want to share video content? Do you want to share workbooks? Do you want to just share your novels that can have an impact on people's lives? So what's your purpose? How are you going to impact people who are engaging with you online? Then the third question is, how are you going to engage with or help your followers? If you freely give to others, I have learned even through my own brand and my own platform that those people tend to come back to you. Are you going to put out stories? I'm sure that's what you're going to do if you're, starting an author brand, but are you going to also share tips? Are you going to share funny memes with them? Are you going to share like behind the scenes, day in the life author content? What are you going to give to them? Because you can't expect to create a brand that's all about you all the time and have people want to interact with that, you need to be giving back to your community, and you need to be giving back to the people who are engaging with you and supporting you. And that could be through making somebody smile, making somebody laugh, inspiring them, giving them tips, teaching them something, giving them really good stories. But you need to have a few of these figured out and really decide, okay, who am I? And how can I help these other people? How can I help my readers? How can I help other writers? And how do I want to engage with these people? And who is your audience there? That is another thing to consider. So I'll say that there were 4 questions. Number 4 being, who is your audience and how are you going to connect with that audience? And you'll find that a lot of these tips, I can't just say, number 1, 2, 3, do these things and you will have a successful brand, because a lot of this is going to be about you. Everybody is going to have a different approach. Everybody is going to have a different brand just based on who they are. I do not have the same brand as anybody else here on AuthorTube because I'm unique and original, just like everybody else is, just like you are. So while you can certainly look around, look at your peers and see what everybody else is doing, decide what you like, decide what you don't like, know that you will never be just like anybody else, and you should never strive for that, because really when you are building your brand, you want to build it on authenticity and being totally genuine and truthful with the people you're connecting with. You don't want to have to fake it. You don't want to try to be somebody that you're not, because there's no way you're going to want to maintain that, especially when you grow and when people want to meet you and connect with you. You want to be truly, wholly 100% yourself, no matter what platform you're building your brand on. Okay, now that we got some of that out of the way, I'm going to actually get into some like tips or steps, things you can do and things you can use to help build your brand starting right now, today. Number 1 is to have an author website. If you are trying to brand yourself as an author, I don't care if you have 0 books out or 10 books out, you 100% need to have a website, and that website needs to reflect you, your personality, your level of professionalism, and who you are. So if you are out there right now thinking, oh, I'm writing these books and I really want to publish, and you don't have a website, jump on over to like Weebly or Wix or Squarespace. Jump over to one of those platforms and build your website right now. You need to have a website whether or not you have any books out. So that is the number 1 step you should take in building your author brand, is build that website right now, today, or at least start. My second tip is to choose a couple of social media platforms that you are comfortable with and that you can be active on. I have quite a few different social media accounts, and I know from experience that I cannot maintain all of them. Twitter is a wonderful example. I've had a Twitter for years and I have really struggled to maintain it. I'm constantly missing messages and missing notifications because I don't have enough energy to go on Twitter every day and be responding to everyone, and that is kind of my error and my issue. That's my problem, because I kind of spread myself a little bit too thin and now things fall through the cracks. But if you're just getting started, you can take your time to decide what social platforms you really want to use. Personally, my favorites are YouTube and Instagram. YouTube is my number 1, but I also know that videos can make some people uncomfortable. Not everybody wants to sit in front of a camera and talk and kind of be vulnerable like that, and that's 100% okay. Maybe you choose Instagram and Facebook, or Facebook and Twitter, you know, whatever it is, choose 2. That's kind of my just baseline. Start with those 2 and make sure you can really put your energy and effort into those and be consistent, and you're not falling apart with just having those 2. And if you find you can maintain those really, really well and want to start a 3rd, then by all means. But again, I recommend just picking 2 social media platforms to get started with. And again, I just kind of mentioned it in that previous tip, but my 3rd tip is to be consistent. For example, let's say I am trying to find new authors and new writers to follow here on YouTube. If I find a really great video and then I go to that person's channel and they post once every 3 months, I am not going to subscribe because I want dependable and consistent content. That's just what I'm looking for. And I'm willing to bet that most people are looking for that when they are trying to find new content creators to follow. They want somebody that they can depend on. You know, are you going to be posting every Tuesday and Friday like I'm doing right now? Are you going to be posting every other week on Wednesday mornings? Like, what is your schedule? How often can you put out content? You know, grab your bullet journal or your planner or whatever. By the way, I am hosting a planner giveaway right now. If you didn't know, I will link the video down below if you haven't already gotten entered into that giveaway. But anyway, look at your calendar, look at your planner, and figure out how often can you be posting. If you want to post on Instagram, how much time is it going to take you to take photos and edit those photos and get them up? And how often can your followers and your fans expect that from you? Don't dive into this head first and then get in over your head and then quit, because I've seen people do that too. They're like really consistent for a couple of months and then they get overwhelmed and then they disappear and they lose all of that progress. So decide how often you're going to be posting, how often you're going to be sharing content. Put it on your calendar if you need to. That's something I do. I schedule my content every single week, and then make sure you can be consistent for the people who are consistently showing up for you. And that's a big part of having a brand, whether it's a fashion brand or an author brand or a lifestyle brand. People are showing up for you and your content, so you have to be willing to show up for them consistently and give them dependability. All right, my fourth tip is to come up with 3 words that embody who you are, how you want to be perceived, and what you want to share. So for example, the 3 words that I have come up with for myself and for my brand are, number 1, authentic. I get in front of this camera and I am genuine, truthful, and authentic every single time I sit down. I share my struggles, I share my successes, and I'm pretty damn transparent with you when it comes to what I'm sharing on camera. So authenticity is a big one for me. The second one is inspirational. I want people to be able to come to my content and come to my videos. Maybe they have a little bit of writer's block, maybe they're not feeling very productive, and I want them to be able to watch my content and feel inspired. I want them to, finish my vlog and be like, damn, I am so ready to outline my book, or I am so ready to, fast draft 3 chapters now. Whatever it is, I want to be able to inspire and motivate the people who are watching my content. And then the third word for me is informational. So not only am I being truthful and authentic and hoping to inspire people, but I'm also sharing information. And you'll see that in videos like this. Or I recently put out a video on how to format your novel. Or I recently put out a video on 40 words to cut from your novel. So in addition to being inspirational, I also want to teach people things and give them information that can then help them turn around and write better books, produce better content, and share better stories. My 5th tip is to decide how you want to interact with your audience. And this is a really important one. Please remember that a brand is a business. Again, I don't care if it's an author brand, a fashion brand, a lifestyle, a food, whatever it is, a brand is a business. And something that I see a lot of people doing that I think is a really big mistake is treating their author platform like a personal playground. If you want to connect with your aunt and your uncle and that kid that you went to high school with and your next door neighbor, choose a different platform for that. Maybe you're using Facebook or Skype or something else where you can have that really personal connection with people that you know, but your author brand is not that. Your author brand is a business. So you have to carefully decide what you're going to bring to your platform and how you're going to share it. Something that I have had to learn and that I have practiced is professionalism 100% of the time. There are mean comments I'll get, and my initial reaction is wanting to, say something mean back or say something sarcastic in the comments. And I have done that in the past and immediately regretted it and then needed to delete, my response to those comments, because I had to decide that I wanted to be 100% professional here, and I had to learn how to do that. And this is not just on your platform. So for example, here on YouTube, but I need to take that a step further. I take that professionalism into my Instagram. I take it into my DMs on Instagram. I'm always professional and kind and polite there. I take it into my emails. I cannot tell you how many times I have tried to connect with somebody via email and they are so unprofessional that I no longer trust in their company or in their brand or what they're trying to sell me or teach me. Okay, tip number 6. This is another big one, a really big one that surprises me a lot when I see this. If you are building an author brand, you need to have a professional photo. And my top recommendation always is to have a professional photo of your face that people can see clearly so that they know who they are connecting with. Connection is really important, and we're going to talk about this a little more in just a little while. But sharing a photo, a professional photo, is one of the #1 ways to help people connect with you. And I understand not everybody is going to be, comfortable sharing a photo of their face. And if that is the case, I have seen other people do wonderful things with like illustrations. For example, I'm thinking Sarah Cannon over at Heart Breathings. I will pop up a picture of her YouTube banner right now. It's absolutely adorable. It's like an illustrated version of who she is, and it's so cute. I absolutely love it. So that's one direction you could go. Send a picture of yourself to like an illustrator and have them kind of craft your brand around that if you're not comfortable sharing your face. Or you could use a professional logo. I have, bumped into authors over the years who are very successful and never share their face online, but they always have that professional logo, the professional banner, kind of the professional branding. So I still feel like, okay, this is a professional author. They know what they're doing. I trust in them. What you don't want, that I see all the time, do not put a picture of a celebrity as your profile picture. Don't put a picture of a pizza. Don't put a picture of a dog, because that will immediately make people click away or not even click on you to begin with. Number 7 is that a slogan can be a really fun way to brand yourself. You can add it to your bios, you can add it to, your Twitter banner or your Facebook banner or whatever it is. And one that immediately comes to mind, and I did not even have to look this up because it's just there in my head, is Jesse Elliott's slogan and branding. It's swoon-worthy romance with a dash of sass. And I will never forget that, because Jessie really portrays that in her author branding. That is what she is. She is a romance author. I have read Twisted Fate, and it's romance with a dash of sass. That's exactly what it is. And she does a wonderful job of portraying that with that slogan and with her author branding. Swoon-worthy romance with a dash of sass. And you immediately know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So if you're interested in a slogan, it could be a really good way to tell people exactly who you are, what you create, and what they can expect from you in one simple, memorable line. All right, number 8, this is gonna be my last tip. And rather than this being like a specific tip or a specific thing you can do, it's going to kind of encompass everything I've said today. And that is that a brand is, yes, professional, and it is a business, but it's also about connection with people. I get a lot of people sliding into my DMs or into my email asking me to read their book, asking me to buy their book, asking me to review their product, and I have no idea who these people are. And that's a really bad way to try to start building your author brand. What you want to do before all else is foster connections with other people. Whatever it is, you want to be able to connect with the person who is viewing your content. Whether you are sharing content here on YouTube, whether you are sharing on Twitter, whether you are sharing on Instagram, you want to build those friendships and build those relationships with people so that they trust you, so that they believe in you. And when you have that connection with somebody, you want to support them. Do not tell people, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. You will hear this said everywhere. Every creator will tell you the same thing. Do not spam people's inboxes. Do not spam their comments telling them about your book and asking them to buy it, because that is a surefire way to get blocked or to get muted and to not get any positive reaction to what you're trying to do. First things first, don't try to sell yourself. Don't try to sell your product. Just be authentic, be truthful, and start building relationships and connections in a professional, polite way. And that, to me, is like the foundation of what a brand is. So there you have it, my friends. Those are my 8+ tips about how to build your author brand. If any of these tips sounded a little harsh, that's because the truth needs to be said. And I will tell you one more time, if you put a picture of Justin Bieber as your profile photo, you are already failing the game of author branding, okay? I've seen so many photos like that and I don't understand. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here and for supporting me and my channel. If you are looking for an editor, be that content editing, copy editing, or proofreading, please feel free to check out my services at enchantedinkpublishing.com. I am currently booking into August. Summer's booking up really fast. So if you want to work with me to polish up your story and get it ready for publication, make sure that you are connecting with me sooner rather than later. Enchanted Ink Publishing is now also offering beautiful professional ebook and print formatting for your manuscripts. I do have a video out on how to format your novel in Word, but if you are not interested in having to learn all the ins and outs of Word and formatting and InDesign and all that hubbub, check out Enchanted Ink Publishing because we are offering beautiful, affordable formatting. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. As always, you can leave comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I will have a new poll up on my community center very soon. I appreciate everybody who voted because it really tells me what content you want to see so that I can cater it specifically to you. All right, I hope you're staying well. I hope you and your family are happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.